All right. Hello, everybody. I've just got to sort out sound. We seem to have a few challenges. We've got lots of Dales in the house. I'm going to come to that interesting observation in a moment. I just need to sort out my sound. Debbie, am I clear? Can you hear me there? Sound is good for now.
Yes, sound is good.
Fantastic.
We can hear you, Tim.
We can hear you guys well, thank you.
Excellent. Welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, every time I do this, I learn something new about Zoom, about setting up these calls. I'm actually quite a technical dinosaur. I've had to teach myself for the time. So if you are Dale Russell and you are not the real Dale Russell, we're making Dale famous here. Yay! Please change your name. You should be able to change your name. If you're on your cell phone, click on your face and you should give you the option there to actually change your name so we know who's here. If you're on your laptop, you will have an option when you hover over your name with your mouse. There should be some dots and you should be able to go in there and just change your name. See if you can go ahead and do that. I'm just going to try doing my setup here correctly while we all sort that out. And we've got more people coming in and joining us. This is exciting. Just want to make sure you can't hear an echo here.
You're good. You're good.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Wonderful to be back with everybody. Got some more people just jumping in here. We still got too many Dales. So let's just have a look at what we can do about that as we're going along. In the meantime, do you see my camera? Am I on?
No, you're not on camera, Tim.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't. I would like everybody to be on camera. So there we go. Now I'm on.
Now you're on camera.
Now and now we're changing to be able to do this properly. Are we good? All right. Yep. Who's excited about this? Give me some love. Give me some thumbs up here. Show me some interesting things. Either a thumbs up on the screen, or if you look on the bottom of your, we need to know this. You need to know this, right? At the bottom of your screen if you're on your laptop or on your phone, you'll have these little reactions. And then what you're going to do is periodically, you're going to give a thumbs up, a heart. When you like something resonates with you, send love. Just give the speaker some energy. How does that sound? You think we can do that? I'm sitting here with a very strange light sharing and shining in my eyes, as we are powerless for the next about hour and a half, probably. So some people in South Africa going, yeah, I know what you mean. So I've got this strange glare shining in my face. But you know what? We carry on. We've got backups of everything going here. So I know exactly what is happening. All right. Welcome to the third workshop this year. If you didn't know, we're here the last Thursday of every single month to help you stay focused on those dreams and goals and what it is that you wanted to start the year out with. So it's an amazing time to be here. There's so many things that we can actually get going with, but with life and outside of us and all this extrinsic stuff, that's this crap that just gets thrown at us all the time, then it's so difficult to just stick to what we actually want to do. That resonate with you? Give me a thumbs up. Show me that it does. So that's why we're here this evening, is to just help you stay unstuck. And if you're stuck, welcome. You are in the right place. Thanks, Heinrich. Thanks for the thumbs up, my friend. Brilliant. You're in the right place. Sometimes it just feels like perhaps you resonate with this, that you're walking around, you've got all of these things, you've got access to everything, there's opportunities that are out there, but you just don't seem to have anything. You don't seem to be getting anywhere. How's that? Does that feel like you? What about your stress levels? That right now, to understand that 25% of this year is over, it's gone. Does that freak you out a little bit? When I worked that out, I was like, whoa, hang on a second. The first 2 months of this year they're okay, but I didn't progress. It's only now that I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere. And if you're not, and you're still thinking, but I haven't even started. I was with a colleague last week and she told me the schools are on holiday here in South Africa. I'm thinking, but didn't they just go back? Does that feel like you? Does it feel like that somebody's grabbed the spinning ball, this globe that we're all living on that we call Earth, and they're just spinning it a little bit faster? So we've still got 24 hours a day, and there's 60 minutes and 60 seconds in a minute, but that just seems to tick along a little bit faster then. So why is that? Okay, hang on, I've got some people here that I just got to bring in, and then we're going to be jumping in. Okay, some people messaging me to say we are just along the lines, and I need to, sorry, just coming in. We want to get everybody in here, as many as possible. So we're going to just bring them in. Let's bring them in. And I'm going to then now make my esteemed co-host here, Mr. Eli Jarvis, as co-host, so he can just help me bring some people in if he doesn't mind. And then we can just get cracking on. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay. Back on track. So wherever you're sitting, wherever your nature is, whether you've been achieving those dreams and those goals and everything that you want, and this year is actually looking great for you, and you're thinking right now that I'm so nervous, so worried, so scared, so concerned about everything that's going so well. How do I maintain this? That's a key thing. Or perhaps you're sitting and going, I haven't even started. How do I begin? By the end of these 2 hours, you are going to have an answer. You're going to have something in there that you can actually take and apply. Now, how do I know this? Because I've been there before. One of the key factors in me putting this together and working together with so many amazing coaches from around the world was it's helping me maintain my focus. So if while doing this, I'm able to inspire somebody else and give you a little bit more hope and momentum, then I'm achieving way more than I could ever want to do. So what I want to do now is, as we've got quite a few people coming in here, is that I'm going to ask everybody turn their cameras on, please. We've got Dave, we've got another Dale who hasn't renamed. I think I know who that is. We've got Heinrich, Festina, Eddie, turn your cameras on. I want to take a screenshot of this amazing group of people that we've got here, but I'm going to need you. I'm going to see your love, and I want to see your interaction, your reactions here. Please turn your cameras on. If you're lying down in bed, well, that's fine. I don't mind. Let's get them on. I want to take a screenshot of who we've got so that then I can post it on our Facebook group and say, where were you? Let's go. A few more cameras coming on. A few more cameras coming on. Now, I need to stand up to take this. Where are we? Joseph, can you turn your camera on? Janet, Mr. Market Secrets Web Class, Heinrich, Festina, are you able to do that? Let's do this. Right, I'll just have to stand up in order to do this. I'm going to look a bit odd. Okay, Festina's still on the road. No problem. Keep your eye on the road, Festina. Okay, let's give a thumbs up for me. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, that's looking good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we are back. So there we go. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for the thumbs up. Let's get back on track here. Now, please play full out. You've committed this time, and we're going to give you our energy. And I'm not going to speak on behalf of the other coaches. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. And sharing all their tips, their tools, their strategies to help you actually get to where you want to be so your 2023 can be the best you that you've ever been. In order for us to do this, we need your energy back. That's what we're asking. That's why I love you. Keep your cameras on. Love your interactions. Put a comment. Give a thumbs up. Whatever it is, so that then we as coaches can see we've got that interaction. And you've been practicing that already, which is absolutely amazing. Here's another thing that you need to do. A couple of things before we get tucked in. I introduce our first amazing speaker, and I can't wait to hear this. The story here is that you need to stay right to the end. This is the first workshop where we're actually going to, at the end of the Zoom, only for those who are live, you're going to have an application form, which then you can download to ask one of the coaches of your choice for a free 1 hour one-to-one session. Now, these sessions are absolutely priceless. They truly are. Here, you're going to have the attention of one person that you've connected with, that you think can help you move, to share personally so they can help you move out of your state. Now, I know these guys, and they're going to share with you so much that you're going to leave after that 1 hour with some real golden nuggets. So you've got to be here. If you can't be, well, send me a little story. And Janine popped up there saying, I might not be able to be here. Well, send me a little story, a sob story to really tug at my heart, and maybe I'll share it with you because I knew you were on here live anyway. But otherwise, please, you're going to stay here right to the very end. And here's another key thing. Are you part of the Facebook group? See, the coaches have got worksheets or workbook or things to share with you for you to take away. As you know, this is a workshop, not a sit and listen shop. So there's some activity. It's only those activities that you do outside of this environment that is actually going to take you where you want to go. Would you agree that 2 hours is not enough to shift everything the way that you need it? Would you agree with that? Give me a thumbs up if you think, yeah, that's true. It's actually more than that. See some nodding of heads as well. Thank you. I can't see everybody's head on here, so I'm going to give a thumbs up there, which means that it's what you do outside of these 2 hour sessions that we have that's going to maintain your focus and your ability to achieve what you want. How do you get access to those documents? They're posted in the Facebook group. So later on, if you haven't aren't on the Facebook group, I will put in the chat box there so you can click on it. Otherwise, it has also been in your emails. So that's the amazing thing. Now, if you don't know who I am, apologies, I haven't introduced myself. My name's Tim Wagner, and I'm a professional pointer. But you're going to hear a bit about my story a little bit later. So I don't want to focus too much on me right now. This is, in fact, for the next 2 minutes about you. Here's what we're going to start with. We are busy with the kids and the dogs and the cats, and maybe, okay, it's an evening in South Africa, so putting the kids to bed was done, but maybe you've just actually got the kids out of bed. I'm not too sure. Got some people from not only in South Africa, but around the world. Whatever it is, you've got things which are taking your focus. Yeah, they're taking your focus away from being able to play full on here with us right now. I'm having a look to see what's going on there. So when you take your camera off, you're potentially going to be busy doing something else. When your camera's on, you're going to stay more focused because you know that other people can see you. Fair enough. So I want to help you have your entire focus here this evening. That for this 2 hours, you are here. And what we're going to be doing is a short breath work exercise just to activate your system inside, just to get some energy flowing. If it's the end of your day and you've had a busy day and the boss shouted at you, or the cat ate the budgie, or the kids were sick, whatever it is, you need to get back into this place right here, right now, with us, with Debbie, with Ellie, with Dale, who are your coaches, going to be sharing with you this morning, wherever you are. So right now, what I want you to do is we're going to do a breath work exercise. Lasts for 2 minutes, and it's called 50-50. And the reason why this is called 50-50 is because it's going to activate your sympathetic side of your nervous system, which is going to give you a bit of an energy boost. Humans, by nature, breathe very badly. Who here can resonate that you think you breathe from here, your chest? I don't know if you can see me. Okay? You breathe from your chest, don't you? This is where your stress sits. This is where your anxiety sits. And you breathe very light from your chest. When you think about it, what is the first thing when you come into the world? What is the first thing that you do? Thank you, Linda. You take a breath in. What is the very last thing that you do when you leave the earth? The very last thing. You breathe out. You die, yes, but you breathe out. And in between, it's as if we forget how important breathing is. So in order to help activate and focus, I'm going to ask you for the next minute to breathe from your gut, your stomach. This is where your diaphragm is. This is what your diaphragm is, the one that actually works to make sure that the lungs actually operate by when you breathe in, the diaphragm pulls up, which gives the room in the lungs to expand, which draws the air in. So you're going to breathe from here. What we're going to be doing is 50 deep, quick breaths in from your stomach for 50 seconds. Okay? Then afterwards, you're going to hold your breath for 50 seconds on the out. Now, some of you here, perhaps the last time you held your breath was when you were a kid in the swimming pool, you're playing around and you went underwater, right? So here's Tim saying you're going to hold your breath for 50 seconds. Well, by the time you're actually holding it, your body's going to be hyperoxygenated. And you may feel tingling in your fingers, a little bit lightheaded. That's fine. What I'd ask is for Stina, who said she's driving, is to not do this. Don't operate heavy machinery while we do this exercise. You're going to sit in your chair, nice and comfortable and relaxed. Drop your shoulders. Hands on your, wherever you want to put your hands. And I'm going to just change my screen here as I need to bring up a countdown. Where are we? There we go. So this is the way it's going to work. You're going to follow my breathing. And remember, we're breathing from our stomach. And every second, you're going to do a breath. So it's going to be something like this. But I'll breathe according to the seconds. You're going to be doing that for 50 seconds. Keep as much as you can. If you find it very uncomfortable, just fall back into your natural breathing and try and come back into it again. Just before the end of 50 seconds, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. Drop your breath out as you're going to be holding on the out for 50 seconds. All right. Get comfortable. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's see. We ready? We're game for this? This is a critical part to help center yourself. Okay. Breath in and a breath out. And now we're going to start. Breathe from your stomach. Keep breathing. If you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, that's fine. It's normal. You're not going to faint. If you're sitting down, you're safe. Get some tingling in your fingers. That's also perfectly normal. 10 seconds. And now, 1 second, I want you to take a deep breath in and let it all out. And hold for 50. Feel the sensation in your body. You want to try and feel any type of tingling or sensation, ears, whatever it may be that you're feeling right now. Just be aware of that. "20 seconds. If you're feeling desperate that you need to come out, that's fine. If you can hold, carry on holding. And 10 seconds, doing phenomenally well. Amazing. And breathe. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Put in the chat box there. You feeling calmer? Are you feeling centered? Are you feeling focused? Give us a chat over there. Share with us a little bit. Calmer, Zany, excellent, more relaxed. Dale, wonderful. I don't know which Dale. Janine smiling. Tingles, Doc Ants, highly possible. If you're feeling tingles, you probably find that you're actually not breathing in full breath, and you're focusing so much here that it's actually not a lack of oxygen, by the way. It's a lack of carbon dioxide. Quite an interesting thing. This is part of what I'm busy learning. So wonderful stuff. Now, There we go. Let's get everybody back. Sleepy, David, you need to do some breathing there, my good man. You need to do some breathing. Let's get the breath going from the stomach over here. I'm going to now say, well done, fantastic. That's part of breath work. One of the things that I'm focusing on this year of who is I will be a breath work qualified practitioner, adding a little bit of an element. So we've gone through the housekeeping. We've got our cameras on. We're focused. We're here. We're energized. We've got our pens with us. We're ready to go. I'm going to now introduce you to the amazing Debbie Balfour. Now, Debbie is a real estate investing coach who's passionate about helping individuals achieve their financial goals. And in addition, she's a wife and a mother and is a co-owner of a signature short-term rental company and is building a property portfolio. So Debbie's here to share of the importance of focusing on your financial dreams and goals, which we haven't covered yet this year. And with her expertise and her knowledge in property and real estate and investing, she's actually in Canada. She's going to share some things about what the Canadian market is, but what I do know is that there's similarities everywhere in the world. So to help you with your financial goals, I'd like you to give a big round of applause and a welcome to Debbie.
Thank you, everyone.
Are we
Really
there?
excited to
Have
be
we
here.
got sound?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Tim, I think Tim's having problems hearing.
There we are.
Okay, good. Tim, could you give me permission to share, please? So I can share my deck.
There you go.
Wonderful. Now, which one is it? There we go. Let's go to slideshow. Awesome. I'm getting feedback from someone. I don't like hearing myself. Awesome. Thank you so much. So as Tim says, I am a real estate investor coach, and I started my journey 3.5 years ago. So it is never too late to start. Like, start where you are. Right? So I want to tell you a bit about, well, we're going to start, since this is all about mindset too. I would like to I'll give you some tips around financial, investing in real estate, but let's talk about my why and your whys. So this is the most important thing we want to start with, is you need to understand your why, know your why. And why do we need to know our whys? It keeps us grounded. When we are ready to quit, when things seem really difficult and we hit those roadblocks, we need to understand our whys. And this is my dad here, and he didn't live much longer than in this picture. Unfortunately, he died just a few months after that, at the age of 57. He saw his first grandchild being born, and this is my son here, the older one there. That was him when he was a baby. So that was his first grandchild that he saw. And he always planned on, when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I retire, I'm going to do that. It was always like, oh, I don't want to spend any money now. I don't want to do this now. I don't, because when I retire, he never made it to retirement. So today is a present. It's a gift to you. Tomorrow isn't promised. So when I hit the age of 50, I suddenly hit realization. I've been very content with my life. Things have been going well. I'm very grateful for everything that I have. I've got a wonderful life. But I started to, as soon as I hit that age of 50, it came back to me. And my dad died at 57. I had, 7 years from where I was, and I'm like, and I looked at my finances, and I looked at, I thought, wait a minute, I still have 15 more years of working. Even with that 15 years of working, when I retire, I'm going to be poor. I don't want to be poor. I didn't work all my life. I didn't have this life to be poor, to go backwards. I want to continue traveling. I want to have an even better life than I have today. So I had to do something else. I was like, I need to do something about this. That was my like kind of, sometimes you have to hit that rock bottom. That was my realization there and I don't want to work for another 15 years. Like, that's crazy, right? And the reason why that's important to me too is like, it also taught me that time is important. The time with my family and friends. If I keep working so hard that I'm working today, then um, I'm taking away from time with my kids. They're growing up. So there's my two boys, Brandon and Ryder, and time with my mom, time with my husband, time with those that I love. I want to give back. I want to leave a legacy for myself. I want to, do a lot more charity work, and I need time to do that. So it's not about money. So your why isn't about money. Money helps you get to that why. Finances help you to achieve the why and make it possible. But if you were to tell me your why was money, I would use the 5 whys technique to drill down to understand what the root of it is. Why is it that you need that money? What is it for that you're trying to achieve? So I want you guys to do that. This is one of those assignments that Tim was talking about. So after this, I want you to think about what's your why. What is it that you want to do? And it's bigger than you. It's usually about other people. So I want you to think about that. Awesome. Yeah. So the next thing I want you to do is, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? This is my vision board, right? I want to travel the world. I want a Mercedes AMG. I want to be volunteering and making a difference. I want to be eating healthy, and I want to have time with my friends and families celebrating. I want a beach house, a house right on the lake, right? I want to be able to do art and leave a legacy, photography. This is Whistler, like ski resort. Want to be able to have a home there. Right? My family is important. All these things. These are all my vision
Oh dear,
board, and I created this
are we
5
losing
years ago.
Debbie here?
Can you not hear me? Everybody's good? Yeah.
Okay, you
I think it's you, Tim.
Yep.
Okay, good. so this was what I created in 2020. This was my vision board. Of this, I don't have the home right on the lake right now, but I'm still working to that. But I have a home overlooking the lake, that I have a full view of the lake. I'm doing a lot more traveling now that COVID is over. I'm back to, I went to Paris and to England last year. I have homes. I have vacation homes in 2 different locations, 3 of them now, 3 properties there that I'm getting other people to pay for it for me. Right. So I am doing home design. I'm doing interior design because I'm doing it on these homes. I'm buying homes and I'm decorating it myself, and I'm expressing my creativity. So this is, you put that out there, and it's amazing. It's not voodoo. Thoughts become actions. And I put it out there. This is what I wanted. And these things just started coming, because the more I think about it, the more, it happens, because the more I'm centering my focus on getting to these goals. And so this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about what your life will look like in 5 years. I want you to pretend that you're that person in 5 years. And I want you to think about, what is it going to feel like? What is it going to sound like? What is it going to taste like? Like, really imagine that. See everything in 3D, all those things. Like, really imagine that, and put that on your vision board and look at it often. Okay. So let's get to now. I'm starting to get into that financial part of things. So with that whole vision board that I have there, the things that I want, like, how much is a Mercedes going to cost me and to upkeep? How much are the vacation home going to cost? If I get a private chef, how much will that cost? If I want a cleaner, how much will that cost? So I put down what my ideal life will be like, what I want my ideal life to be like in 5 years. And then I put a monetary value to it. So mine is to have $30,000 per month in passive income. Am I there yet? No. But I have all these active opportunities now all of a sudden coming to me. And I want to do a plug for Ellie here. So last year, Ellie worked with me on mindset. He was my mindset coach. And this is where we worked on that. And we started talking about, like really having that worthy goal. What would that look like? And it was amazing. Like 2 months after I start setting these goals and having, repeating to myself that I am happy and grateful now that I'm earning $30,000 per month in passive income. And my life is fabulous. All these opportunities that I never thought about, that I never even imagined, it hadn't come to me before. All these opportunities started coming to me. For me, and I'm like, okay, it's come to me. It's for a reason. Yeah, I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to jump on that and I'm going to try it. Right. So that's the power of that setting those goals and getting it out there and letting people know too what your goals are. Don't keep it to yourself, because if you let other people know, then it comes back to you. So so that's what, put those into in what that financial aspect would be. And then, don't worry about how worry about the think that you will get it changes. And it may not be the way you thought you were going to get it. Right? So what I want to say to you is, don't wait for opportunities. Create those opportunities. Start creating those opportunities for yourself, right? Opportunity will not come knocking on your door. You've got to start creating those opportunities. And how do you do that? By starting to educate yourself, starting to learn, understanding what you fear. Why are you fearing it? Usually it's because you don't have knowledge of something. So if there's something you're going after, you need to have the knowledge. And to do that, you have to educate yourself. So in 2020, when 2019 actually, when I had that realization that, I needed to change my life, I needed to do something, I actually paid 27,000 Canadian dollars to learn about real estate investing. I got coaches, I joined a network of people, and and I had people, accountability groups, and and when in that year, that $20,000 in that year, that $27,000 that I spent just on that one, I spent some more on other coaches too that year. So I spent more than that. I actually created more than that in real estate investing. Way more than that. I actually created $150,000 in equity that year. And I had set myself a goal that I want to earn $500 in cash flow per month. And by the end of the year, when I calculated it with my coach, I was earning $4,000 a month in cash flow in my investments. So the moral of that story is, set your goals high. Because if I set it too low, and good thing for myself, I had that coaching that I spent all that money on, and I was going to earn that back in spades, right? so so it's worth it. That's why coaches, that's why we charge money. Of course, we need to be compensated for our time, but you need to have skin in the game, something that says, I am going to do this because I paid for this, right? So but I invest in myself all the time. Last year it was, I had Ellie as my mindset coach. I had my real estate coach. Again, I keep having those real estate coach to keep helping me sharpen my sword. This year I've just invested in a coach for coaching, a business coach, to help me to build my business, my coaching business. So That's something you need to constantly be sharpening your store. And then once you do that, you educate yourself, then you take that fear away, and then you can start creating those opportunities for yourself. I am going to pause here because I've been doing lots of talking, and I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions before I go forward.
I don't see any questions in the chat there.
No?
We've got a couple of amazing observations.
Awesome.
If your goals don't scare you, they aren't big enough.
Definitely.
That's Mario and
Right,
Doc
you've
Ant.
got to set it big, right?
That's it. And Doc Ant says, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Wow. Powerful,
Nice.
Doc Ant.
That's where I want to be.
That's it. Wonderful to have Doc Ant on the call here with us tonight.
That's great. So let's talk that scary topic of inflation. Okay. So your money, the way inflation works is your money, the dollars that you have in the bank, it's a fixed denomination. Right? However, the money that the products and services that your money can buy is constantly increasing. Constantly increasing. So the more you hold on to your money, you say, oh, I've got it saved in the bank account. The value of that money is a lot less, although it's got that number on it. It buys a lot less. So I can just think about a month ago when I go grocery shopping. Now the cost of it is like already 10% more. Like lately, it's just like rapidly increasing what we can buy for that money. So holding on to your money in a savings account is not. How much are you getting? 1%, 2% at most, 0.5%, so you need to start looking at, how do I invest my money? And sometimes it's not a savings account. We've been taught to pay our homes off, right? Pay your homes off. Debt is bad. Debt is bad. Pay your homes off thing. But then you're sitting on that home. You've got this wonderful home that's paid off, but you're sitting on money. So across the world, it doesn't matter where, you're able to go to the bank and you're able to get like you can do a refinance on your mortgage, or you can take a line of credit out on your home, right? And you can take that money and then invest it. So that's what I do. I never had savings account, and for years I thought there's no way I can invest in real estate because I don't have any money to invest in real estate. I don't have anything, until I started to learn that I had so much in sitting in my home, right? That I could invest, and that's the power of leverage and the power of being able of real estate. We're able to use that power of leverage. Okay, so don't hold on to that money in the bank account. Really look at investing in order to achieve your financial goals. Okay, so why real estate? Well, Roger says, don't wait to buy land and wait. So every year, there's an excuse not to invest in real estate. I hear people all the time, oh, the interest rates have gone up. They're so high now, I can't buy real estate. Oh, real estate is too expensive. I can't buy real estate. But then the next year, real estate is even more expensive. And then next year, it's going up even more, and the interest rates are going up. So, there's never a right time. The right time is always now, right? Take those opportunities when you can, right? As long as the numbers work, right? It doesn't matter how much you pay, it's how much you receive. So if I'm paying 10%, I think Tim says in South Africa, the interest rates are right now, mortgage rates are, if I'm paying 10%, but I can make 15%, then I'm 5% up on money that I borrowed. Not on my money. I borrowed that money and I've just made money. It's like if Ellie leaves his car with his Lamborghini with me in my driveway and says, can I leave my Lamborghini with you? And And I said, sure, you can leave your Lamborghini with me. And he leaves the keys. And while he's off, traveling the world, I rent that Lamborghini out and I make some money on it. Right. And then Ellie comes back and I give him his Lamborghini back, but I've made money on his Lamborghini. Well, that's what you're doing with when you're doing a refinance on your home, or you're taking a line of credit on your home and then you're investing it. I'm not saying to take that line of credit or mortgage and buy consumer goods, right? But take that line of credit or that mortgage and purchase and purchase an asset in real estate, or do some private lending. There are different ways, and I'll tell you a little bit about different strategies. It doesn't have to be a property, but make money on the bank's money. Yeah. So that's how we do it in real estate. We leverage others, and that's how the millionaires do it. They don't use their own money. They use other people's money to do that. Okay. So why real estate? Why is it? Well, it's tangible. It's brick and mortar. Like stocks, it's a piece of paper that you get. And like I can ask you, if you're investing in stocks, you invest in your stocks, they go up, and then all of a sudden, like right now, the market's crashing, it goes down, and you never seem to be much ahead unless you're really good at trading and you can pull them out. But if you've got a financial advisor that's doing for you, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and I don't seem to get any further. Right. Well, with real estate, you get a high cash yield, right? You've got that tangible asset that you can sell. The real estate market is constantly going up, even in times when we have a few dips in the market. Just hold on, and it will go back up further than it was before, right? Because it gets affected by inflation, right? Just like the goods and service that we're buying are going up, so are our homes, but in a bigger amount. So you get a high cash yield from it. You have your equity that builds up in your home that you're constantly. I bought my home in 2001. I bought it for 250,000 Canadian. It is now worth $1.2 million. Yeah. It's leverageable. So like we said, you can borrow on it. Even my investment properties, when I buy an investment property and have that, then when I go for another property, they look at the property I have, they look at how much equity I have now built up in that property plus my home. They look at the money that I'm earning, the rental income, and then I'm able to borrow even more on that. And they'll give me another mortgage on that. And they usually up to 5. And then I need to find another institution. But it's leverageable. As I meant, it's tangible. You can touch it, you can feel it. And there are amazing tax advantages. You can write off so much. Like every time you do maintenance on the homes, like your gas, you can say that, oh, I'm going to check on the homes, I'm going to do this, I'm looking for homes. There's lots and lots of tax advantages that you could even show from a tax perspective that you're at a loss, that you're running a loss, right? So that's why real estate, that's something you can't do all of this on with stocks. There are 3 streams of investing that you can do. You can invest in properties. You can lend to other investors, called private lending. So you can be like the bank for other investors looking to do renovations, or they're doing a flip, so they're buying and they're going to fix it up and sell it quickly. So they don't go to the banks for that money. They look to private lenders for that. Or people doing land development. You're building condos and like flats, I think, and or you're building out a whole neighborhood. You look at those developers and you think, wow, they must be so rich. That's what I thought. But they're not. They're borrowing from people like you and I. We're investing in that. That's where they're getting the money. They're not using their money. They're borrowing from us, and they're giving us, percentages of their like a percent, and then equity, some of the profits, etc. So those are ways of investing in real estate. Right? When you have a rental property, you have 4 ways to make money on it. You get the regular cash flow, which is your your rental income minus your expenses, and then you get your cash flow. You get your principal recapture. So when you're paying your mortgage, when those mortgage payments, some of it is interest, some of it is actually principal on it, and it's your tenant that's paying that because it comes out of the rental income, right? So you're paying that. You got that principal recapture, they're paying down your asset. Market appreciation, as the market appreciates, like my house that went from 250K to 1.2 million, that market appreciation, you get that on your rental properties. And forced appreciation when you do some home improvements on there. So as we do, we add a bathroom, or we put some TLC into it, we increase that value of it by adding them. I'm sure you all have watched all those shows where they're doing flips and they're increasing and they're adding a bathroom, or they're doing certain things, and all of a sudden they bought a property for a smaller amount, and it's worth way more, hundreds of thousands more than the amount of the renovation. So 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. Right? So if they're doing it, why not us? Right? What's making them better than us? Nothing. There's nothing. Right? And a lot of them started from nothing too. They hit rock bottom. We've got to step up because we've got a better life. Right? So why not? We can do it too. Where would you find money? Well, as I mentioned a few times, your home equity line of credit. So look at getting a line of credit on your home. You can refinance your mortgage to get that money out too. I'm sure you guys have got like registered funds too that we have here, for your retirement. You put some money away, it's tax sheltered, right? Those kind of things. Usually you could use those to invest. And then there's mortgages from your income property. So if you already have a property, another property, then you can then remortgage those ones, or take out the equity on those ones. Okay. You don't have any knowledge or time? That's not a problem. Team up with someone that does. Team up with someone that's doing this and become their partner. All right, ask them to teach you, or so that you can get the knowledge. Or if you've got money but you don't have the time, you can partner. They do the work and you're the financial partner on that. Okay. If you've got money also and no time, or you're not interested in being a landlord, you're not interested in swinging a hammer or doing anything like that, then you can private lend or private equity to those that are doing it, and say, okay, I'll lend you my money and I want this much return on it. So you can private lend that money on there. Okay, so you don't have to be active, you can be passive. If you've got no money but you've got time and you've got some skills, you can be that working partner. Okay? No money too, you can actually rent a property. If you're a good salesperson, you can rent a property from someone that's in a nice location. So you're in South Africa and they're a beach location. Someone's a landlord is wanting to look has it out there for a long-term tenant. You can be their long-term tenant, and you can let them know that you would like to, you'd like to turn that into an Airbnb. Right? So, but you're going to be looking after it. It's going to be top shape. It's going to be constantly clean. You'll be better than any long-term tenant that would have a lot of wear and tear, because you're constantly showing that place as the most wonderful place. So that's called arbitrage. So you would just have to do, the furnishing of it and the rental income. And then there's wholesaling, which is, it's kind of like you're finding those off-market properties, and then you're connecting them, the people selling that off-market property to a real estate investor, and you make some commission in between. Yeah. So those are all ways of making money in real estate. So many. Or you can become a coach like I do once you like I am too, right? So there's so many opportunities. Like I'm a coach now because I'm so passionate about real estate. It does get into your skin. You know, I'm also running a short-term rental hosting agency. Where I'm running, I had to do my own, and I'm like, oh well, I'm doing my own. I might as well scale and do it for others, right? So there's so many opportunities that come out from one opportunity, and that's what I was saying about. Don't worry about the how, worry about the what, right? Because you know, I'm I'm not it's not all real estate. Real estate is now afford me more opportunities. And there's so many other people doing so many cool things too with real estate. It's amazing. With their real estate knowledge of investing. So your homework assignment, as Tim said to you, you know, this is a workshop. So what is your why that will inspire you to keep going? And keep asking yourself the five whys until you get to the answer that becomes I don't know how to go any further. All right. Visualize and write a letter to yourself in 5 years, but write it in the present tense. Write about what your life is looking like at that time. Mine's about I'm sitting in a condo on Waikiki Beach, penthouse at the top, looking down at the beach below me with an infinity pool. My caretaker has just called from my house in Tuscany. You know, saying that they're getting it prepared for us visiting. My kids have got the condo next to me that I bought for them, and my mom's coming to visit. You know, that sort of stuff. I just went and I had an amazing workout, and now I'm going for a walk along the beach. Right. So what does that day in your life look like 5 years? What are all the things like? What are you eating? What are you tasting? Like, what are you eating? What are you feeling? Like, all of that. Who's around you? Create a budget of how much you will need for that ideal life, right? And calculate how much time you realistically have. I want you to think about how much time you have and explore how much money you have, because that will inform the strategies you want to use in real estate investing. But I'm asking you to take action today, because tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's an opportunity lost. Okay, so start today. Wherever you are, you're never too old. I started at 50. That's my spiel. Any questions?
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. That is absolutely brilliant. And there we go, free 45-minute consultation with this workshop. Valued 300 Canadian dollars. I don't know what that is in rands, but I know it's a lot. So that's super generous. And that form I'm going to put out later on for you then to fill in if you want to get hold of Debbie. You've got her contact details on there, and you'll also, of course, find her on the Facebook group. Wow, so many golden nuggets, so many amazing things. You make it realistic that there is always a way. Doesn't matter what your status is, what your personal financial situation is. The challenge sits in your head,
Definitely.
not in the bank account. So it's been a privilege. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, Debbie. It's really, really kind of you to put your time out there, put your knowledge, share with a whole group of people. And that is powerful. There's been quite a few people giving some comments and thumbs up. And Mario's just parked his Lamborghini at your spot there. He's looking for a rental on a monthly basis. Maybe you take it offline and negotiate with him. Love it. That is phenomenal. So let's jump straight into our next amazing coach. We have got Ellie Jarvis is back with us. It's such a privilege that for the third month he's here. When he first spoke in January, and all of his Bob Proctor and all of his knowledge and expertise and experience from his businesses, he's what he calls a disruptive influence, because he's got so much knowledge outside of the personal development sphere that he's helps people with limiting beliefs, health and wellness, self-image, and right now working with a lot of middle-aged men to help them achieve a good balance in life. So whether you're middle-aged or not, whether you're a man or not, his story is for you. So if you've never had the chance to listen to Eddie before, you have got that chance right now. And I'm going to hand over the microphone to Ellie. Welcome. Wonderful to have you back, my good friend.
Thank you, thank you. And I got to take the opportunity to say a big what's up to Debbie, and she's doing so amazing. I'm so proud of her, and just seeing the changes that I've seen in this wonderful lady and the things that she's accomplished. And I got to tell you, it was a lot to do with mental. She'll tell you the same. I mean, it's just the way she saw herself versus the way she sees herself now and moving forward. I don't have to kind of say anymore because you saw it in her. She's a powerhouse. She's confident in her future. She knows exactly where she's going, and you know what's going to get her there. There's no doubts about it. You know, where before it was you know, maybe I can, maybe I can't, and that seems to be a lot of times the problem that most people are having, is that they kind of doubt themselves. They doubt their abilities. And considering that we're infinite beings, like, just think about it. You live in a world where you can take a Pepsi can, because that's about how thick the actual body of an airplane is, put 300 people in it and fly it through the sky like a bird. Like, do I need to say any more than that? You come up to a wall, you hit a strange looking button on the wall, and all of a sudden, like magic, light appears. This is the reality that we live in. You can be, do, and have anything you want. But it comes down to here. What do you believe you can have? I want to touch a little bit more about what Debbie shared with us, because it's interesting that this workshop actually turned out to be what most people's goals are, which is they want more money. And it's not because they want more money to say, I have more money. No, no, no. Money is just a medium to get to what you truly want. And what you want is peace of mind, comfort, ease, ability to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it, as often as you want to do it, for as long as you want to do it. You want freedom. I don't remember making a deal when I arrived into this physical body that, hey, I'm going to struggle and I'm going to try my best to do as much as I can and, you know, hopefully get what I can out of it. No, the deal that I understood was you can have anything you want. You can be anything you want. You can do whatever you want to do and need to do, and have anything you want, because the universe has got your back. Whether you believe in God, Allah, whatever it is, God's got your back. That's the deal we made. The problem is we forgot that deal a little bit. And I'm going to share with you a little kind of stuff that I teach through my program. Let me just get this set up here. Okay. So the whole idea is that we want to eliminate those blocks. We want to get rid of those things that made us forget that deal, that we can truly have what we want. Debbie shared with us an amazing strategy and avenue in which you can create that freedom. But there are many more, and I'm going to touch on that today. I'm going to share with you guys so you can kind of really understand what an infinite world and universe is available to you if you just understood how and why. So, as you can see, everyone sees my screen? Okay, so perfect. This is what's called the stick person. Now, some of you who have joined us in the January and February workshop, you're like, oh my God, here he goes again with the stick person. Yeah, I'm going to keep showing it to you. And you know when I'm going to stop teaching it to you? When you start actually doing it and living by it. So until that happens, guess what? You're going to see it again and again and again and again, because that's how we learn. We learn through repetition. We learned our name by having it said 1,000 times to us. We learned how to walk by falling flat on our ass 1,000 times and learning again. And we learned how to bicycle ride and how to drive a car the exact same way. That's how you learn everything. The number one lesson is, how does your mind work? This simple little diagram here is called the stick person. It was shared with us, with the world, by an amazing doctor back in 1934. And he realized as a holistic doctor that no one has seen the mind. And if you don't have a picture to work with, how can you possibly work with a person's mind and help them out if they don't have a vision for it? Because we think in pictures. I'm just doing a quick little review for those who didn't catch the January and February workshop, which is, by the way, in the Facebook group. And so will all the worksheets be in the Facebook group. I'm going to share in our chat later on the link. But please go there and you'll find the worksheet that I'm going to share with you today, the one that Debbie shared with you, the one that Dale is going to share, and Tim as well. So we think in pictures. When I ask you what color is your car, you see an image of the car. When I ask you what does your fridge look like, the fridge pops up. When I ask you what does your favorite dress or suit look like, you see how these images just keep popping out. I can do this all day with you guys. Right? The idea is that now I'm sharing with you an image because you think in pictures what the mind looks like. Now, he drew a picture where he did a large circle, called it the mind, a smaller circle, called it the body. And then he split it in half, called the top portion the conscious mind, and the bottom portion the subconscious mind. And the idea is that everything is mind. If this is a new concept for you, please pay close attention. If this is something you've heard before, pay close attention, because you should share it with everyone you run into. Because the idea is everything is mind. Nothing is created unless it's first created in the mind, unless we see it in our imagination. The pen that I'm holding, the computer we're sitting behind, the airplane, the homes, the real estate, the banking system, the money that everybody's after was an idea first in someone's mind, and then it created into reality. That's how the universe works. I didn't create it. I don't know why, but I'm definitely want to work with it. Now, the idea behind the mind is that there is an energy source flowing from the universe, from God, from infinite, from spirit, whatever your beliefs are. There's something higher than you. It's an energy. It takes form into anything. But in order for it to take form, it goes through your mind. So in your mind, you can choose your thoughts. In your conscious mind, that is. You have the ability in your conscious mind here, you can choose. You can accept or reject, and you can originate. But in your subconscious mind, which is the supercomputer that you guys work with, which is responsible for every drop of blood that flows through your body, every cell, the trillions of cells in your body to work in perfect harmony. It's responsible for your breathing. It's responsible for your pulse. It's responsible for your hair and nails to grow. And it's responsible for everything that you take action in this physical form. It's a supercomputer. Make no mistake about it. It dwarfs the greatest computer in the world. It makes it like nothing, like a TikTok toy. Okay? But the problem is it cannot choose. It also cannot reject. Which means whatever you put into the subconscious mind, it accepts it like a hard drive, and then it moves it into action. So let's look at it this way. Now, here's the most important part before I go on. It doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. Once again, it takes it in and starts to function by it. So, if you believe that you don't have enough money to get into real estate, you're right. And your subconscious mind will make sure that you never have enough money to get into real estate. If you believe that life is difficult and it's not fair and you were doomed to have a hard struggle in life, guess what? Your subconscious will make sure to prove that to you. But if you understand how it works and you can work with it, then we can help you eliminate those ideas. Because what happens is, today, just for example, Debbie shared with you an idea. That idea was called real estate. Or better yet, investing. Then you had another idea that you want to get into the best shape of your life. It's an idea. Then you had another idea. You want to get into a relationship, you want to start a family and have kids. It's an idea. And all these ideas keep coming to us all day long, all the time. Sometimes good ideas, sometimes bad ideas. If you let the bad ideas in, they will take form in your thinking. At the same time, if you let the good ideas flow in, the ones where you can have investments and a life that you deserve and all the freedom that you want, well, they'll become good ideas. But here's the big challenge. The challenge comes in when we have these little tiny programs in our subconscious mind. And you get into these ideas and you decide you want something, and all of a sudden, I can't. And all of a sudden, I'm too old. And all of a sudden, it's too expensive. Because that's what you believed all these years. From what mom and pop told you, great grandma told you, the government told you, the news told you, and whatever else. These ideas were formed inside your subconscious mind. Anything that is, whenever you go to say something, I'm gonna do this, but, or I can't because, whatever follows because, whatever comes after because, or as soon as, so let's say you say, I'm gonna start a new business. As soon as, what? As soon as what? As soon as the kids get out of the house? As soon as you have enough money? What follows? Drop your comments in the chat. Give me some ideas of what these negatives behave, like mental pictures in your mind are. And I'm going to write it out so we can all see it. What would be some of the things that you would say? I'm going to do this, or I can't do this because of what?
I'm too old.
There you go. I'm too old. And I'm sure Debbie's heard that one a million times when it comes to real estate investing. Because you truly think you're running out of time.
Yep.
The government, there you go. I can't because the government. What else? What else can we put down? I need money. I can't do it because I need money. What else? I don't deserve it. That's a good one. We actually, strangely enough, a lot of us believe that we don't deserve certain things. And I got news for you, my friend. You deserve everything and much more than you can imagine. I don't deserve. And this is a big one.
Yeah, Len says something good, Ellie, that we mentioned on Facebook recently. As soon as I understand it perfectly.
Perfection.
Yeah.
I won't until it's perfect. Guess what? Always better done than perfect. Because action creates a reaction. And when you start to move, the universe starts to move back. So I'm seeing all kinds of things coming through. Risk of failure, that's a big one too. Exactly, right? Now, here's the point to all this. Do you see how many, this is just a tiny list, but do you see how many of these are locked away in our subconscious programming? They're just codes. They're virus codes. And every time you get an idea, every time you get a beautiful idea, every time you want to exercise one of these brilliant ideas, the positive, guess what happens? Mr. Negative tells you the reason why you can't. Every time you go to do something new and develop something that you know you want, because you want more freedom and you want more life and you want to be able to do what you want to do, Mr. Negative jumps up with your programming and tells you why you can't. So the whole idea and the purpose behind this is that we want to eliminate that process. We've been conditioned through our life to look at our results through our eyes, our ears. I see, hey, don't tell me I can do it. I'm looking at my bank account. There's nothing in there. I can't do it. But Debbie just shared with you 3-4 different ways where you can do it. So don't worry about what the bank account tells you. Did you look anywhere else? No, my eyes tell me that in the bank account there's no money. The news told me through my ears that the economy is terrible. Who the hell buys real estate and invests money and buys stocks and bitcoins when the economy is dropping? What are you talking about? These are all the results you're letting control your thinking. They control the way you think. In this portion of you, in here, they control the way you think. And the way you think creates how you feel. And the way you feel is right here. This guy feels. And this guy is in full control of your body. Every cell, everything. Every time you go to move into action and do something, this guy tells you if you can or can't. Not this guy, not the guy who thinks he's got great ideas. So if you let the results control your thinking, and then you let the thinking control your feelings, you're going to take lousy, crappy actions, if at all, and you're going to go right back into the circle of doom. That's called the paradigm. And we're all guilty of it. Now, not all paradigms are bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, brushing our teeth every day, taking care of ourselves, doing our hair, those are good paradigms. Keep those. But these little guys, these red ones right here, who are constantly nagging at you why you can't and won't and don't and this and that, we got to get rid of those. We got to stop living in that way. That's ridiculous. And the only way to do that is to make a decision. Debbie, what's the first thing you have to do in order to invest in real estate or grow your portfolio?
You got to decide that you want to do it.
The magic word, a decision. What's the first thing you got to do when you learn to walk? You got to decide that you want to walk. What's the first thing you got to do when you want to get into a relationship and start a family? You got to decide you want to meet somebody and be in life with them. What's the first thing you got to do when you want to lose weight and be in a perfect, healthy, beautiful body you were blessed with? You got to make a decision. And you don't just make a decision, you make a committed decision. Because a committed decision gets you to do what needs to be done, regardless. If you're just interested people do what they do when it's convenient. Committed people do whatever it takes, no matter what. Debbie shared with you one avenue of how you can create your own economy. Now, I know this is against everything that you've been taught and programmed here in terms of like what the government taught you, what the politicians and the finance and the banks want you to believe. You, my friends, create your own economy. And the way you do that is through 3 income earning strategies. One is called the M1, one is called the M2, one is called the M3. And we're going to look at each of those.
Those are highways in England.
There you go. And they're highways in our income strategies. They're highways in our earnings. What do I mean by that? 96% of the population in the world, whether you're in South Africa, America, Canada, I don't care where you exist, 96% of 8 billion people in this planet trade their time for their money. M1 earning strategy. This is by far the crappiest, shittiest, dumbest idea ever programmed into our mind. This is the worst way to earn money. Why? Because there's only 24 hours in this world, in this life. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In those 24 hours that you have in your day, rumor has it you should sleep for 8 hours. Let's say you're an ambitious guy or gal, and you sleep only 5 hours. Now you have only 19 hours. So you can trade 19 hours of your time for a particular sum of money. That's it. Where are you going to get more time? You don't have any. I'm trying to find the 25th hour. I can't seem to find it. I'm trying to find an 8th day. It doesn't exist. Then there's M2 strategy. Only 3% of the population, only 3% live by this method. This happens to actually be what Debbie was describing today for everybody. This is where your money starts to work for your money. So now, here you are trading your time for money, earning money. And while you're doing that, your money is earning you more money. Only 3% of the population do this successfully. You know why? Because most of the people that invest money to make money lose money. So that's but if you do it right, if you speak to the right people, get the right coaches, listen to the right ideas, then your money can start making you money while you're making money. So that's already 2 strategies for making money. And then comes the magic one. Only 1% of the population have MSIs, M3 earning strategies. What is that? Since only 1% of the population have that, chances are you probably never seen or heard about it. I never have. And I've been in business since I was 16. I've had 12 different businesses. And until my mentor taught me this, I was like, what the F? Right? Because M3 strategy is multiple sources of income. How does the top 1% accomplish this? Because they have multiple sources of income. Every door that you own in a triplex, duplex, multiple split home is a source of income. It's a different renter. Every team member you have under your direct marketing business, MLM, is a source of income because it goes up towards the power line. Here's another MSI. Every one of us is said to have a book in them, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is true. Every one of you have a different story than mine. Every one of you have experienced certain differences in your life and learned some stuff. So you can actually write a little book. And when you sell that book, when you sell it, you start to earn money from it. That's a source of income. There are people that go and buy trucks. And they don't drive the trucks. They actually get drivers to drive the trucks, and they become a source of income. There's people that invest in real estate, and God knows what else. The idea is, how many sources of income do you want? Remember what I showed you with the stick person, with your thinking? If you think single dimensional, you only think of M1. I got to trade my time for my money. My object is to have as much money coming in per hour so that I can trade my time for more money. But you only have a certain amount of time. And I'm sorry, people will only pay you a certain amount of money per hour, per day, whatever. So that's not the solution. Now you take your money that you've earned, put it into M2. Let it start working for you, like Debbie explained. Now I got some money coming in from my investments. I got money coming in from my hours. I got money coming in from writing a book and putting it online or whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm selling some stuff on Amazon. Every product that's sold while I'm sleeping is bringing me money. I invested in Bitcoin or stocks, dividend earning stocks. Shit, every month dividend comes in. I'm earning money. Wow. Multiple sources of income. How many do you want to have? What is your financial goal? Are you buying into the nonsense that the media and the news and everybody else is telling you? Or are you starting to understand what we're going after here? The idea is that if you think about how much you earn every year, by understanding this information, by joining us in these workshops, by doing the type of work that we're sharing with you, these amazing coaches, you're able to take your annual income and turn it into a monthly income. When I first heard this idea, I thought, what the hell are you talking about? How do you go from earning 100,000 a year to 100,000 a month? Like, that's not even like the guy sitting in a cubicle in an office earning 30,000 a year. If you explain this to you, to him or her, would laugh in your face and then throw something in your face, just for even talking nonsense. But yes, you can most definitely turn your annual income into a monthly income, because there are other ways to earn money, to earn freedom, to earn your ability to do what you want to do. The world is changing, man. The world is getting smaller than ever before. The world is so tiny that if you were to move to the moon, it would look like a little ball. And the most important thing is, the banks would love to take your money. They don't care what currency it's in. They don't care what form it comes in. They are all happy to take it. And it all ends up in your bank account. All you have to do is change the way you think. Wayne Dyer said it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. How do we change the things we look at? Well, maybe the mental block removal worksheet will help you do that. This is posted in our group. As I said, the worksheets will be posted in our group. This particular worksheet helps you find those mental blocks, those little red X's that I shared with you. All those little things that you guys typed in, all those negative ideas that you were programmed with, you start to unravel them. And then you start to make a list of them. And then you look at the opposite, because there's a universal law called the law of opposites. Every negative must have a positive. Every positive must have a negative. A battery is just a piece of metal with nothing unless it has a positive and a negative. It's a universal law. You can't change it. I can't change it. So you make a list of the opposite of what you want instead of what you currently don't want. And here's an example. And this is in there as well. Now, here's the idea. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich wrote an entire chapter about this. And it is by far the only instrument that is responsible for every success in the world. Auto-suggestion. You auto-suggest yourself ideas. Why? Because you learn through repetition. Your hard drive, your subconscious mind, accepts things only through repetition. That's how you learn to walk. That's how you learn to drive. That's how you learn to eat. It's always done through repetition. If you auto-suggest the positive idea over and over and over and over, your subconscious, remember, cannot tell the difference between what you think you see and what you imagined. It cannot reject. So it must accept what you're telling it. And there you go. And once it buys into that idea, he'll take care of everything for you. You're going to run into the next person. You'll be like, damn, man, where the hell were you 20 years of my life? 30, 40 years of my life. Damn, man, where was Debbie all my life? She's in Canada. I'm in Canada. How come I didn't met her until now? Because the subconscious mind went to work. You know that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears? That's what it means. So here's an example of how to fill it in. Let's say you believe that, your sales are always going up, going down. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. I don't know. There's never enough money. Okay, what's the opposite of that? Well, the opposite of that is my sales are doing great. Every month I'm doing better and better and better. It's incredible how it just keeps coming in. And then you make a list of the number one. Now, you don't go changing 100 different things at a time. You didn't create 100 habits in one shot. You're not going to change 100 habits in one shot. So those programs that like, I can't because of whatever, that was done through repetition. So work on that one by itself for a little while. Let it settle in, right? So like, for example, if you want to, well, here's a good one. I was a very reactive person. I had a very short fuse, especially if you caught me on the road. Okay? But I learned to control that because I went from being reactive to training myself to being responsive. Self-sabotage, guilty of many people. The way to do it is I self-lead myself. I'm a great leader. I don't sabotage myself. I think for myself. I don't listen to what the shit is told to me outside. I think for myself. I don't sabotage anything. I just believe my own stuff and I keep auto-suggesting it over and over and over and over and over until my subconscious buys the new idea. Now, when you go back here, right? When you are in this guy, and instead of having all these little reds here, you all of a sudden have these amazing positive paradigms because you auto-suggested, I can. You auto-suggested, I will. You auto-suggested, I am. And the world, the universe just lines up to help you out with every possible thing you can imagine, with the right people, with the right everything. And here's the difference. With the new thinking, by understanding what I'm sharing with you, you create new feelings. You don't go by the results as before. You go with the new thought that allows you to feel something new, that takes action, new action. You go out and actually invest some money. You go out and actually do something good for yourself. You go out there and help others. And then you create a brand new result in your life. That's the new paradigm. That's the way to live life. So hopefully that was great and understanding. Now here's what I want you to do. When you go to this worksheet, when you fill out this worksheet, you're going to take a fresh piece of paper. On that paper, you're going to dissect and divide this part here. And you're going to burn it. You're going to burn it. Why? Because you want to burn away the negative ideas. Everything that's been holding you back till now, you're literally going to set it on fire. Just don't be doing it in your room. Put it somewhere safe. We don't want to start fires, okay? Let's be responsible. And you're going to burn that list. Then you're going to take the positive side, this guy right here, and you're going to keep suggesting it to yourself over and over and over and over and over and over, because the repetition of it goes into the Mr. Computer that runs the life. So you have a list. You have instructions what to do with it. Now you can let go of all those excuses. There's no reason to hold on to them anymore. We got rid of them. We burnt them, remember? Now we just repeat what we want. Hopefully that was helpful and insightful. Any questions? Please drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer anything you need.
Wow, Eli, that's powerful stuff. And this is exactly why when you put your hand up and say, I want to come back, I'm like, yes, because my notes are written. I've gone crazy here. I can, I will, I am. When you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. These nuggets, these bits, you may have heard it before. I've heard it before, but you know what? Exactly what you're saying. It's about that repetition.
Yes.
It truly is. It truly, truly is. So that was super powerful. I wish we had another hour just to hear you continue just to share with us and inspire us and really help understand what's going on up here. People are putting in the chat there. Thanks. So show him some love. Give him some thumbs up. Give him some exciting news. Share with him and say, that's the stuff. So adding on top of what Debbie was sharing about the property and investments, and it still starts with all of this. You've added all in about M1, M2, M3. It's the first time I've ever heard it explained in that way before. And I've been doing this for 16 years.
Exactly.
So it's spot on. There you go. A lot of
For
people
years and years I studied, and so in here you can see I left my information. Guys, I want to say big thank you for well, first to Tim for having me here. For all the other coaches, it's such a pleasure to be here amongst you guys. Anybody who's got any questions, wants to know a little more detail, work on their goal, whatever it is, no obligations. I'll do a 30-minute free coaching with you. We'll set up a game plan, get you going on your way, and the rest, whatever you need, will show up. That's a promise. So I'm going to drop this as well in the group, so you'll have it. You don't have to worry about putting it all down right now, and not to take any more time. So thank you.
Fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. And like I said earlier on, that form as well, I'm going to drop there a bit later on. We're going to hear from Dale just now, but before Dale comes up, I want to just change a little bit of the energy here. So we're going to step it up a little bit. Dale's going to come in. I see he's going to turn on his camera for us. I want everybody else, if you're able to, turn on your camera. What we're going to be doing now is proof, scientific proof that visualization works. So whether you believe this or not, we're going to do an experiment. Who's game for that? Everybody's going to participate. Show me. That's it. There we go. Lynn, Dr. Ann's in for it. Stefan's in for it. Dale's in for it. All right. Zany's in for it. Bernadette, thank you very much. Heinrich, wonderful stuff. For the other Dales who haven't changed their name yet, guys, follow on with this. What you're going to need to do now is stand up. Yep. All right. Come stretch. I'm going to see if I can move the chair aside. You don't need much space. I'm just going to try and reposition my camera here so that you can still see me. I hope you can still see me. Okay. Quite simple. You're going to be following on now. Not everybody's standing up. So I'm going to assume those who have got the camera on are standing up. This is what you're going to be doing. It's a very simple process to demonstrate to you the power of visualization. All you're going to do is you're standing up and you're putting your feet next to each other, pointing forward. You're standing up straight. Are we all standing up? No lights, he says. My lights have just come on. I understand that. No problem. Do it in the dark. You're not going to trip over anything. You're standing still. Your feet are planted flat on the floor and straight. You're not going to move your feet. You're going to pick up your right arm straight in front of you. You can all follow me on this one. Pick it up straight and point. So you're pointing your finger. I'm a professional pointer. You're pointing. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn from the waist, but you're going to turn as far as you can. You're going to turn to the point as far as it goes, and then you're going to come back and drop your hand. Okay, so you can all do that. You're keeping your waist still. You're turning from your hips, and you followed your finger around as far as possible, so you can see where you see where your finger pointed. Now drop it. Great stuff. Okay. Now what you're going to do is close your eyes. Now you're going to visualize. You're not going to move. You're closing your eyes, and in your mind's eye, you're now lifting your arm. So can you picture you lifting your arm? You're now turning. You're not physically turning, only in your imagination, in your mind. You're visualizing that you are turning. And you're following where your finger's moving, but you're going to go further than you did just now. Once you've gone further, come all the way back and then drop your arm. Okay, you should be back now, dropping your arm. Now this time, you're going to do it again. This time, you're going to pretend like you're a little kid playing a game, you're pretending to be an owl. In your mind's eye, your eyes are closed, your feet are planted flat on the floor, planted. You're lifting your arm in your mind. You're not doing it physically. In your mind, you're lifting your arm and you're turning your finger and you're following it all the way around. But this time you're going to keep going like an owl does, and they can see 360 degrees. So keep going, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. You can keep going. It's in your imagination. And once you've gone all the way around it, bring your hand all the way, and you should be all back now. Okay, we're all back. Now you can open your eyes. You're going to keep planted. But you're going to raise your hand again. This time your eyes are open. You're going to do this. So raise your right hand and look at your finger. Everybody raise their hand. I'm watching you guys. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now what you're going to do is turn. Follow your eyes. Follow your finger. I mean, keep going, 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 keep going. Notice where you've pointed to. And once you've gone all the way, come all the way back and drop. Who went further the second time? Take a seat. Show me. Show me. Give me some hands. Did you go further the second time? Yes, yes, yes. Good yeses. David's, yes. Mario, thanks. Ellie's laughing. Janine, fantastic. Dale. You all went further, but here's the question. What changed? Did your skill set change? Did your ability, your education, your knowledge, did any of that change? Or did your belief change because you planted it in your mind? There is emphatic proof to you that what you visualize, you achieve. And on that note, I would love to invite you to meet oops, I'm losing my screens over here. Give me a second. I would love you to meet a wonderful new colleague of mine. I've got to connect with him over the last few months amazingly. We've had a number of great chats. Dale Russell Sr. is a purpose-driven coach. If you're not following him on Facebook, you need to. His daily posts are hugely inspiring. I love them. Punchy, 1.5 minute. He says it as purpose-driven. He's a certified professional life coach who teaches people strategic action points so they can create the life they deserve. He's had a major health scare, and that led him to making a massive change in how he lives his life on purpose. So I'm not going to be speaking anymore. I'm going to be handing over to Dale. Dale, what a privilege to be sharing the virtual stage with you, my friend. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Tim. Thank you so much, and welcome everybody again to this wonderful event. It's a pleasure to be here, and wow, to follow Debbie and Ellie after those great presentations. I don't know, maybe I should just walk out the door. No, this is fantastic. I wanted to take just to start off, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. So let me start by sharing my, I want to share something with you. Just a moment here. Okay, so you should be able to see this wonderful group of people here. This is my family. This is my why, as Debbie was talking about earlier. Minus one, my wife and I, we have 7 children, and we actually have a grandchild now. This picture is a little bit old. This younger guy right here, he's 17 now. But this right here is the foundation and the purpose of why I do what I do every single day, and what motivates me to want to be a better person, to be a better father, to be a better husband, and to share my life experience with the world so some people don't have to reinvent the wheel. And that way, my experiences that I've been through can help people from day one to not have to go through the steps that I went through to overcome and overachieve some of my goals that I have achieved and I'm still working towards. So one of the things is I want to share another picture with you. This is a much older picture of myself when I had my first health scare. But before I do, for the longest time, I lived my life without purpose. I let life happen to me rather than I think it started when I was in middle school. I did a project, and it was researching my family history and researching my family crest, and I came across my family's motto, and I think that was a mistake. The motto for my family from dating back to the 16th century was "Que sera sera," which in translated means whatever will be will be, and it's life's going to happen, and that's you can't do anything about it. And so for the longest time I was like, okay, you're going to go through things, you can't change your direction, and things are just going to happen to you, and you roll with the punches. And it wasn't until a lot later in life that I had that mindset change that Ellie was just talking about. And when I was much younger, I was a pretty obese guy. Here's a picture of me. And part of my transformation story is I was over 300 pounds. I was in this picture right here in the blue shirt. I was 368 pounds to be exact. And I've lost well over 100 pounds since that picture, because I decided to take charge of my life and make a difference, not just for myself, but so I could see my kids grow up, so I could see my grandkids, and which I've been able to do. I've been so blessed to be able to do that. And with that mindset change, the things that I've been able to achieve in my life have been overwhelming. And I wanted to take charge and be able to share those things with other people. And as Tim was mentioning earlier, I had a recent health scare. Well, this is in October. I had surgery, and for my second time of beating cancer. And that's a serious, super, super scary situation. And I had surgery. I was down for about 6 weeks, but I had a mindset change as I came out and started my recovery. And that was, I know the old me would have sat on the couch and watched television and just kind of, did that and didn't make any difference for my life or for that of myself or my family. I didn't do that. I chose myself this time to have that mindset change where I wasn't going to watch TV. I wasn't going to sit down and just let time pass me by. What I do instead, I took action. Took very uncomfortable action for me. Also, a year ago, did I ever think that I would be speaking, online right now today at an international conference? Absolutely not. That would not have been me. As Tim mentioned, I make videos every single day, to motivate and help change a mindset, like Ellie was talking about, to deprogram that hard drive that all of us, including myself, has embedded into us. And I decided that I wasn't going to do that no more, that I wasn't going to be that person that just lets life pass me by. And the first time that I made that video, I was scared. I must have recorded my first video, I'd say probably 10 times. And then, you know what? And now I'm to the point, one and done. That's all it is. And because I'm being real, being raw, relevant, and sharing what is needed to be heard by not just myself, but I know there's always somebody out there that needs to hear what I have to say. So I wanted to share, I know that went a little bit, but share the foundation of where I'm coming from and what I'm teaching and sharing with others. Let me pull up my deck real quick. And one of I want to share with you my 4 pillars of purpose that I'm working on. And I would love to be able to share it with you all. Just a moment here. Okay, perfect. So I have decided that I would love to work with, not just with husbands and fathers, because I have that experience. Been married for 25 years, have 7 children, a grandchild, and I know what it's like to balance, what it's like to juggle responsibilities and need guidance or direction or inspiration to find that next step that you need to take to get yourself moving out of what I call your pit, so you don't get stuck. So the pillars of purpose, I wanted to continue on that, is what I believe is your body and health and nutrition, number 1, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to help your family. You're not going to be any good to anybody, not yourself, not your family, not if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to be any good to your customers, your business, or if you're an employee, you're not going to be good to your employer, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be present. And that's just, a foundation. When you're building a house, that's your foundation. Well-being is also, as Ellie was talking, your mindset. It is shifting that mindset that you are worth it, that you know that you have things you need to do, and you're worth doing it for you. Adjust your mindset. And the next step is your relationship and balance, whether it's relationship with a spouse, children, extended family. That's all important. You have to have balance in order to connect and build relationships with others around you. And then lastly on that pillar is the business focus, is again being able to have a clear set of your goals, review them often if you're an entrepreneur, again, if you for your business, if you're an employee, you have expectations that are things that are expected of you, and lay out a plan on how to achieve them. That's super important. So again, with the body, I just wanted to go over them more in detail. But when it comes to body, this is part of my story that is personal to me. I had to make that choice, that I knew that building my life, my foundation, I couldn't let things happen to me. Because if I wanted to be around to see my children, if I wanted to be around to see my grandchildren, that I knew I needed to take care of myself. It's just like you're on the airplane. They always tell you when you're taxiing out, the flight attendant's saying, put your oxygen mask on first, and then you help the person next to you. Otherwise, you're no good. Same thing every day in life. You have to take care of yourself so you can help others. And so the well-being, like I was referring to, is like this little image down here, believe you can and you will. It's totally mindset. And also, like Tim has walked us through, is some breathing exercises, and his exercise that we just did, the mind focus, is meditation. Taking time to focus your mind, focus on your breathing, because the essence of life is your breath. If like what Tim was saying, when you first come into this world, you breathe. When you leave this world, you exhale. And if you meditate, focus on your breath of your life, it can bring you mental clarity and help you achieve the level mindset that you need to achieve your daily goals, have focused action, and work towards what you really want in your life. And just like what Debbie was saying, is believing that you can do it, knowing that you have something that you can achieve, and then setting the plan to do so. Now, relationships, to me, this is super important. Being a family man, and I have not just my spouse, my children, my grandchildren, but I have huge extended family. And also, it's not always blood that makes you family. Some of my closest friends that I've had, you go through life with relationships, and taking time to nurture those relationships, to communicate, to spend time with each other, it helps you achieve and appreciate what you're working for. So you have a reason to keep going. You have that purpose. The purpose every day to take uncomfortable action, and to know that you're making a difference, not just for yourself, but for those who mean the absolute most to you. That is by far just an incredible thing to live on purpose. And again, shifting back to goals and focus. Now, I consider with all four of these pillars that you can set goals and strategy within all four of them. You can have goals for each one, for relationships, for your business, for your health and well-being, and everything. For your body, you can set, obviously we can set weight loss goals or bodybuilding goals or whatever we want, but we have to be able to revisit them often and have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan and a foundation, there's no war map to success on your battle. So there's another some worksheets that I want to share with you real quick. Give me just one moment to pull those up. Okay, great. Here we go. All right, so the first one I want to share with you is what I call the time box. This is something that I use daily. I've used it for years. And for many years, I worked in the financial services industry, and with a lot of financial advisors. And I was responsible for running. I was an operations manager for a brokerage firm for investments. And every day, the first thing I would do is a brain dump, because I have up here, I know things that I need to achieve. I know things I need to accomplish. I have a calendar full of meetings, but I need to get it out on paper to help me organize. So the first thing I would do is right here in the tasks is write everything down that I need to write down. And then I would prioritize everything. And the date up here is important as well, because that filters in to what I call the weekly boardroom that I'll go over here in a minute. So you prioritize your task by the day, and then you, over here on your schedule, you actually schedule time to the tasks. If you're an entrepreneur, schedule time for calls, for your reach out activities, anything you do to produce income producing activities, or even put a note on here to remind yourself, send your spouse or your child a message. Let them know you're thinking about them. That is one of the things is on one of the 4 pillars on the relationships is don't leave that out. That is so important, to drop that in on your loved ones. Just randomly, hey, you know what? I need to reach out to Chris today, or I need to reach out to Sam today, and just put it on there. Don't forget about it. That way it's up front and present, and it's in your face. And then I choose Sundays. Sundays I call my boardroom day, because it's the beginning of a new week and you have a whole week of review to look at from your past week. On the events of the week, I'll write down what I've done over the past week, so I know where I'm at. The boardroom on Sundays, it's imperative. You have to be able to double check and know where you're at, where you've been, and where you're going. Otherwise, if you don't revisit your goals, what's the point? Because if you're not revisiting them often and adjusting them as needed, if you're getting close to your goals, stretch them out. That means it's too easy. You need to stretch your goals, hold yourself accountable. And this is one of the ways to do that is the weekly boardroom. That way you can decide, commit, and succeed. I think those 3 words right there aren't just they're not optional. Decide, commit, and succeed are those are your duty to yourself and to your why. Those are the most important things that you need to focus on, is knowing that you have an obligation to yourself to hold yourself accountable. Down here at the bottom of this page, I created a scorecard against the 4 pillars. You can judge yourself on whether you hit those 4 pillars, whether you're going to the gym or whether you've eaten for physical action, whether you've gone to the gym, whether you've chose to eat healthy that day, whatever your focus was for that day, for that pillar, mark it off. That way, at the end of the week, you can know where you succeeded and where you didn't and where you need to improve. Self-awareness. Did you take time to meditate? Did you review your mindset? Check it off so you know where you're at and how do you improve. Family balance. Did you send that text message to your spouse just randomly, so they're not expecting it? Did you reach out to your child that lives 3,000 miles away like mine do? I have kids. I live in New Jersey, United States. I have kids in Oregon. I have kids in Arizona. I don't see my children very often. They're adults. Reach out. It's important. Maintain those relationships and that balance. And then professional, this is where it comes into. You have professional goals, whether it's, like I said, you're an entrepreneur or you're an employee. You have professional goals. Evaluate yourself. Hold yourself accountable. How did you do? Did you set your goals? Did you achieve them? It's always important to know where you're at. And that's what the weekly boardroom is for. I so encourage you to do this. The worksheets are available in the Facebook group. They're already loaded in there waiting for you. And it is just so important. Here's my email. I am available on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. I post my daily videos on there. I have different audiences, but I'm available for you to reach out to me anyway. And I really look forward to connecting with you. And I'm so grateful to have been a part of this conversation. Thank you very much.
Amazing, Dale. Superman, absolutely fantastic. Guys, show him how much you appreciated that. Give him some love. Dale, have a look in the comments there. A lot of compliments, a lot of things coming your way. So in the chat box there, that was absolutely brilliant. Lovely to hear you sharing. and to hear more of your story that I didn't know. So your 4 pillars of purpose, love it. Decide, commit, and succeed. Not optional, he says. Follow Dale, the purpose-driven coach. It's not optional. Got to go out there and do it. So fantastic, fantastic. I know we're going to hear from you again, so that's absolutely wonderful. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are nearly sitting on our 2 hours, but we haven't finished yet. Are you game to just go over just a little bit? Are we game for that? If you've got to jump off and you've only got 2 hours and you're committed and you've got other things, I do understand. We're going to carry on recording. Have we got 10 more minutes? What do we reckon? Should we do it? I've got some things I want to share. What do you say? Yes? Have we got some thumbs up? Nah, I've had enough. My head's hurting. The stuff on visualization and the stuff Debbie spoke to me about. I'm realizing, how am I ever going to retire? What Dale spoke to me about now with all these things, I've got to go and sit and work out all my schedules. It's enough. Have we had enough? Festina says, please. I'm going to follow Festina. Guys?
Tim, I do have to run, though. I do have another meeting.
Debbie,
So.
Absolute privilege. Thanks so much. I understand you got to go. I'm going to share just one short story quickly and round up. So appreciate it. Thank you very much, Debbie. Guys,
thank you, everyone.
In the chat box, I've put the link to the document where then you can download it and send it through. Going to send it through to my email address to then apply. I'll forward it to whichever coach you want to then have a private one-on-one session with. So that's there for you guys to actually take. So if you're following me on Facebook, you would know a little bit of my story, but I'm going to share one tidbit, one thing that is actually happening right now in my life. Now, I'm just going to share my screen over here. Hang on a second, wrong screen. You would have thought by now that I'd know how to do this, but there we go. Let's try again. Let's try again. All right, there. That's the one I want. Okay. No, it's not coming up. After all of this, here we are. There we go. That's what I want to do. I've said I'm a professional pointer. So I have a program which has got 3 stages on there. And stages of goal attainments. Now, everybody's spoken around and about these. So this sort of does bring it in beautifully. We've had wonderful discussions about why. The why is the key thing. Debbie spoke about it. Ellie's mentioned it when it comes to the repetition and why you want to do things. And Dale is a purpose-driven coach without a reason why he wouldn't be here. And his focus, he's told you, is a number of times is his family. You've got the how. The how is the system to get you there. Even Debbie said the how is not as important as the why. So many debates. Is how more important? Well, you've got people like Bob Proctor who said the how is actually only 5%. Why is 95%. But let's not have a debate right now. Both is very integral. You've then got the what. Now the what finds its way to you along your journey of understanding why you're doing what you're doing and how you're going to get to who you want to be. So in my 16 years of being in personal development, in coaching, in teaching, sharing, inspiring, and helping people, I focused heavily on why. And what I've realized is if you do not know who you want to become, your why is immaterial, as you'll fall back into status quo. You'll fall back into the comfort zone, what you've always known and what you've always done in your life, and go back into the job which you want to get out of in the first place. Unless you attain who you want to be, then you would join it together with why. And this is part of the discussions that I have. And if you want to share some time with me, then please reach out and I'll help take you through this why, which is called 7 levels deep, to find out your deep-seated reason why you do what you do. And as part of the journey of understanding who you want to become in attaining this why, if you know who you will be, then anything is possible. So I've set myself up a goal. Dale shared some of his story of his personal goal. And he's come through some health scares. I have been very blessed and fortunate, very healthy, haven't had that. However, I wanted to be the fittest guy on the beach. But I couldn't give a picture of that until I decided who I wanted to become. And the who is, I will become a triathlete in 2023. So knowing who I want to become, I can then start to set myself small goals to the attainment of that. If I'm lying in bed and I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, right now I've got to go and exercise, I open the curtains, it's pouring with rain, it's windy, it's miserable, it's winter coming where I'm living, and you think, oh man, I really don't want to do that. But then I ask myself the question, what would a triathlete do? And of course the answer is get up and go and do it anyway. So that has motivated me because I know who I want to become. And in doing this, I've got my long-term goal. Okay, it's only for this year, but that's my goal for this year. By the end of this year, I will be a triathlete. Okay? So to get there, I've got to go from zero. I've always done exercise. I've always been a fairly fit guy, but I've never had this type of focus. And I tore a tendon in my foot in December, so that had to heal. So by January, I started my exercise and I started setting myself up some goals. And I said, by March, I'm going to do one competition. And then every month afterwards, and slowly, I started building on what it is I needed to do to become this who. So I did my first ever half triathlon in March, 21 Ks. 2 hours, 3 minutes. I thought, that's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. Never done before. I ran 21 Ks for charity in 3 years ago or something like that, but there was no timing on that. This was the first serious one. And there's a picture of me afterwards, and that's my time. You can see over there. But during this process, and here's the key thing to understand by attaining who or attaining any of your goals, is you're going to have smaller ones along the way. So when I've been training for this in the 2.5, it was just under 2 months, in fact, to go from zero to doing this, it was a matter of doing 1% a day, just 1% different. I didn't wake up in January and run 21 Ks. Come on. Why set yourself up for failure? So I said, I'm going to run this. And I worked 1% a day. So every day when I was running and I'd come to a certain lamppost or a street or a house, and I'd look ahead 100 meters and I'd see the next house and I'd go, tomorrow I'm running to that house. And then when I ran to that house, I looked further and I said, there's a lamppost or a bush or something over there. Tomorrow I'm running to that bush. And that's how you do it. You break up the bigger one into smaller, even if you're making it up as you go along. So during this actual race, I don't have a watch. I have my phone rings in the morning when I get out of bed. It's called an opportunity clock, not an alarm clock. Alarm is too much. This is an opportunity clock, but I don't carry a watch. So I don't know. I was running free. And then after a while, I met up with this young chap and asked him, I said, how long have we been running for? And he said, 1 hour and 36. And as he said 1 hour and 36, I saw there was the little sign on the side of the road that said 5 kilometers to go. And I thought, 1 hour and 36, that gives me 24 minutes. Can I do sub 2 hours? And I need to run 5 Ks in 24 minutes. How am I going to do that? So I set myself up another small goal. First goal, no one's going to pass me. Second goal, I'm going to pass the next person in front. So as you're passing one person in front, then there's somebody else in front, and then I have to pass them, and I have to pass them, and I have to pass them. So I set myself up small goals. I didn't say, I'm going to do 24 kilometers, I'm going to do 5 kilometers in 24 minutes. I said, I'm going to overtake him. I'm going to overtake that person. Then I'm going to overtake that one. Then I'm going to overtake that one. And we were coming up to a hill in Langebaan. There's a hill going by Shark Bay. It's one of those hills that if you're a runner or a cyclist, is about 100 meters just too long. You understand what I'm talking about. But because there was always one person in front of me, I just had to pass that person. And that was a little goal. And then the next one, and that was a little goal. Small goals. Small goals. When I got to the top of that hill, and I've run that hill frequently, I train on that hill, I felt stronger than I felt in the entire run. And that was after, okay, so there was about 3 kilometers. That was about 2 kilometers that we did that. Now I felt strong. And I said, now I'm going for it. Now, I may not have hit subpart 2. This is my first marathon, so I thought I'm going to give myself a little break. That is what is needed just to understand from who I want to become, setting a goal and setting small ones through the go as we go. So keep an eye on the Facebook group there. As thanks, Doc, and appreciate it, man. As doing the Two Oceans half marathon, not the full one. It's an ultra one in March. So in April, then Two Oceans. Then in May, there's a biathlon in Langebaan here, swimming and running. And then in June, there's actually a longer run, which is 51 Ks that I'm looking at doing. So I'm just setting myself up these small incremental goals as it goes along. So here's the key thing. By doing 1% different a day. That's all. And if you think 1% is not much, it adds up. 1% a day, 1% further, read 1% more. Do 1% a little bit. We can all do 1%. Would you agree? Give me a thumbs up. Give me an understanding. I'm going to stop sharing over here as we round up. Would you agree that 1% is an attainable thing a day? Yes. Yes. If I asked you, can you put 1% of your day in time aside to researching property, to working on your mindset, to following on Dale's program? Could you do 1% a day? Of course you can. 1% is 17 minutes. You only need 17 minutes. As Dr. Ann said, 1% is ample. It's only 17 minutes. I don't have 17 minutes a day. Wake up 17 minutes earlier. You've got it. We've all got it. We've all got the same amount of time. It's just determined by how you decide that you are actually going to live it. So that's my message to you guys today. It all starts with 1%. And another reason why I'm sharing my journey, my story with my fitness goal here, and this is only one of the who's that I'm going to become. So we're just having a goal, said, right, who has got that already? Who is there? And that is the person that I will become this year. Set yourself up there, but consider just starting on 1%. And just add up and build up, build up, build up, build up, build up. That's my message that I'd love to share with you to take away today. So ladies and gentlemen, you've seen in the chat box there, let me just have a look here quickly. The end of the year, that would be an improvement of 365%, not 1%. Wow, Festina, you mean I'm going to be running a half marathon in 1 hour, not 2 hours? My goodness me. Okay, all right, I'm up for a challenge. Let's do this. I'm only 51. No, I'm not. I'm actually 36. I've just had 15 of those birthdays. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the link there. If you scroll up, you'll pick up that link. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Would you like me to put it here again? Just so that you can pick up on it. That's the link to get the application form, because it's not going on Facebook. Only the people live are going to get access to this to meet the coaches of their choice. Send that through to me. Please join the Facebook group. You've got the links on the emails that we've sent you. It's been a privilege, a pleasure of mine. I truly love being here and contributing to everybody. It's an inspiring thing for myself. And collaborating. Thank you very much to Debbie, who's jumped off. It's lunchtime where she is, and amongst all the things, Debbie is still a mom. She's a wife. She's a businesswoman. She has a job, and she does all this property as well. So understanding that. To Ellie, once more, thumbs up, my friend. Absolute pleasure. Love your energy. Wonderful stuff. To Dale, go for it. Go, man. This is the beginning. When I first invited you, and you, you know what? Pull through. Do it anyway. That's how you've got to where you are, and you're going miles, and we're going to have you on again, I hope, and later on in the year, I'm sure. And ladies and gentlemen, put in your diary right now, the last Thursday of every month. This is the place. You do not have to wait for my invites or the promotions or the advertising that I put out. You know it's going to happen anyway, and I've already got some amazing people lined up. Some have asked, some I haven't, but I'm putting it out there, and they're going to come anyway. Who's going to be sharing with us next month. Fantastic. Privilege being here. I would love everybody to open up their mics. You're welcome to. You should all be able to. Otherwise, put in the chat box there. How have you loved this? How's it been? Please go onto the Facebook group and type in there what your biggest takeaway was, so that people who are on the group who are not here can go, I should have been there. But they get the recording anyway. It goes onto the Facebook group. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a Brilliant,
bro.
blessed rest of Thursday.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everybody. Take a
Thank you,
decision
everyone.
today.
Doc, how are you? Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Tim. Great 2 sessions today. Love you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.